factoring. Factoring is rewriting an expression as a product of factors. If we look at this multiplication problem where we have to distribute 2x times 6x plus 7. 2x times 6x is going to give us 12x squared. 2x times 7 is going to give us 14x. So there we have our product from the factors. So if we're factoring, we start with the product and we end with the factors. So if we're going to FOIL in this case, remember first, that's going to be 2x times x. That will give us 2x squared. Outer, that's going to give us 2x times 3. So plus 6x. Inner, that's going to give us negative 1 times x minus x. And last, negative 1 times 3. So minus 3. So when we combine like terms, we get 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. Again, there's our product. But when we factor, we start with the product and end with the factors. So if we factor 2x squared plus 2x minus 3, it factors to 2x minus 1 times x plus 3. Okay, so let's go through some other scenarios where we factor out the GCF. First, we have to consider all the terms. So in this particular problem here, we have 3 times, 5x cubed plus 30x squared minus 10x. And we're going to factor out the GCF for both numbers and variables. So if we look at 530 and negative 10, the largest number that goes into all 3 is 5. We have x cubed, x squared, and x. When you're looking at your variables, you will always take the lowest power of that variable, which in this case is x. So if we divide the expression by the GCF of 5x, we're going to be left with x squared plus 6x minus 2. So when we go to write our answer, it's going to be the GCF of 5x times x squared plus 6x minus 2. When factoring, you will always look for the GCF first. So each and every time you have a factoring problem, you will always look for the GCF first. Let's try this next problem together. If you feel comfortable enough, pause the video, try it on your own, and then continue. So again, we have 3 terms. We have 2, negative 8, and 10 for the numbers. So the greatest common factor between those 3 numbers is going to be 2. We have x to the 4th, x cubed, and xy. So for the variable of x, the lowest power is x, and for the variable of y, the lowest power is just y. So we're going to divide by 2xy. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. X to the 4th over x leaves us with x cubed. Y cubed over y leaves us with y squared minus negative 8 divided by 2 is 4. X cubed over x is x squared. Y squared over y is y. Plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. X over x is 1. And y over y is also 1. So our final answer, again, is going to be the GCF, 2xy times x cubed y squared minus 4x squared y plus 5. So take a moment, pause the video, attempt the next example on your own, and rejoin us when you're done. So you should have had a final answer of 3x times x cubed plus 3x plus 4. Now let's take a look at factoring trinomials. So let's first look at factoring trinomials when a, the leading coefficient, is equal to 1. Our standard form of a quadratic is the ax squared plus bx plus c. So if a is equal to 1, we want to look at our constant, which in this case is 12. We want to know what we can multiply to get 12 and add to get b, which in this case is 8. So our factors of 12 are 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Which of those combinations will add to get 8? It is indeed 2 times 6. So we can factor it with 2 binomials, x plus 6 and x plus 2. The order does not matter. So if I wrote x plus 2 times x plus 6, that is the same answer. If you're comfortable enough, pause the video and try factoring x squared minus 8x plus 15 on your own. If not, stay with us. So what can we multiply to get 15 and add to get negative 8? Well, our factors of 15 are 1 and 15, or 3 times 5. And given that it's negative 8 and positive 15, both factors would have to be negative. So it's negative 1 and negative 15, or negative 3 and negative 5. So we're going to use negative 3 and negative 5, because that will add to negative 8. So our factors here are x minus 5 times x minus 2. You can always check your answers by multiplying it back out and seeing if you get your original expression. So we can do first x times x to get x squared, x times negative 3, so minus 3x, negative 5 times x, so minus 5x, and then negative 5 times negative 3, plus 15. So when we combine our like terms, we get x squared minus 8x plus 15. So it works. So let's try factoring by group. So first, we're going to identify A, B, and C from our expression. A, our leading coefficient, is 1. B is 10. And our constant is 16. So if we multiply our leading coefficient with our constant, 1 times 16 is equal to 16. So we need two numbers that have a product of 16 and a sum of 10. In this case, it's 2 times 8. So we're going to rewrite our expression, replacing the 10x with 2x and 8x. And it doesn't matter which one you put first. The end result will be the same. So after rewriting the expression, we need to split it in half. So we have x squared plus 2x and 8x plus 16. So if we factor out the GCF of this, we get x times x plus 2. Factor out this, we get 8 times x plus 2. By getting a common factor, that tells us that we did something correct. So when we write our final answer, we're going to bring our outside factors together, the happy face, x plus 8, times the common factor of x plus 2. Now, take a moment, factor the following problems using either method, and press play when you're ready to continue. So what are two numbers that I can multiply to get negative 14 and add to get negative 5? So if I write down my factors of 14, I got 1 and 14, 2 and 7. If I need to get a negative 5, then I need to have a negative 7 and a positive 2. So my two factors for this trinomial is x plus 2 and x minus 7. If I want to do number 2 by grouping, I'm going to multiply 1 times 12 and get 12. So I need two numbers that I can multiply to get 12 and add to get negative 12, and add to get positive 4. So if I write the factors 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, knowing one of them has to be negative, and I have to get a positive 4. So this is going to be negative 2 and positive 6. So I'm going to rewrite x squared minus 2x plus 6x minus 12. Now I'm going to split in half. So the left side of GCF is going to be x times x minus 2. The right side of GCF is going to be 6 times x minus 2. So when I go to write my final answer, I'm going to bring these outside factors together for x plus 6 times x minus 2. Number 3. Two numbers that I can multiply to get 4 and add to get 4. So my factors are 4, 1 and 4, 2 and 2. So this is going to factor to x plus 2 times x plus 2. I can also write this as x plus 2 squared. For additional practice, you can refer to section 4.4 in your textbook, beginning on page 221. Additional practice problems that would be good to do would be problems 14, 20, 21, 29, 30, 31, 32, and 35. Please see me if you have any questions.